Hello and welcome to my training. My name is Chuck Holmes. I'm a network marketing professional. Today I want to share the Amway reading list. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not in Amway. I'm not an Amway distributor. I was about 20 years ago. I learned a lot in the company. It helped me immensely to be successful in life and in the industry. And what I wanted to do was put together a video of some of the favorite books that Amway recommends their distributors read. And when I say Amway, it's normally the Amway motivational organizations like Brit Worldwide, Worldwide Dream Builders, UR Association. There's many different groups and organizations within Amway. Most of them have their own reading list, but many of the books carry over from each list. So I was in Worldwide Dream Builders for a couple of years. It was a great experience. And what you see below are some of the books that they had us read. I put these in alphabetical order just to make things simple for you. And then what I want to do very briefly is just share my biggest takeaway from each book. The first book was Acres of Diamonds. This is an amazing book. It's short and simple. You can read it in like an hour. It's by Russell Conwell. And my biggest takeaway from Acres of Diamonds is that you need to bloom where you're planted. You have everything you need to succeed right where you are right now. Next, we have Bringing Out the Best in People by Alan Lloyd McGinnis. This is quite perhaps my favorite leadership book of all time. And my takeaway from this book is that leaders are in the people business. We build people and people build the business. In Amway, in any network marketing company, in fact, in any organization, leadership is the highest paid skill. And if you want to level up your business or your career, improving your leadership skills is probably the best thing that you can do. Number 3 is Developing the Leaders Around You by John Maxwell. I love this book. As a leader, what you want to do is you want to develop the people who are around you. You want to help them level up their leadership, their competency, because who you surround yourself with, that ultimately determines where you end up. My biggest takeaway from this book is that real leaders develop and attract other leaders. Number 4 is Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. So these book titles are very similar, but they're two totally different books. And you can't go wrong reading any John Maxwell book. I love his books. I've read many of them. Highly recommend them. He is on the forefront of leadership training in the country. Great, great books. But in his book, Developing the Leader Within You, my biggest takeaway is this: anyone can become a leader if they choose to. Leadership is a choice. No one is born a leader. No one is born a follower. If you want to be a leader, you have to choose to be a leader in business, in your career, in anything that you do. Number 5 is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Beckner. This is an older book. I believe it was written back in the 30s or 40s. So it's like 80 years old now. This is probably my favorite sales training book of all time. I recommend it to people on my team. I recommend it to a lot of my friends who are in sales or who own a business. And my takeaway from this book is that anyone can succeed in selling if they learn and master the basic skills. Being a good salesperson is not about being charismatic. It's not about being a good talker. It is a certain skill set that anyone can learn if they put in the time, they put in the work, and they master those things. Number 6 is How to Have Confidence and Power when Dealing with People. This is by Les Giblin. This is another classic older book. And my takeaway from this book is that people like and respect people who are confident and believe in themselves. I'm not talking arrogance. I'm not talking ego or attitude. But if you believe in yourself, if you believe in what you're doing, that is going to attract other people to your mission. Number 7 is How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is one of the books that has had the biggest impact in my life. People skills, this is my takeaway, people skills have a bigger effect on your relationships and career than anything else that you can do. People like to do business with people they like, know, and trust. You have to be able to get along with people, especially in this type of business. This is the number 1 people skills book that I could recommend to anyone. In the number 8 spot, we have Hung by the Tongue by Francis P. Martin. This is an older book. A lot of people have not heard of it. And this is about self-talk. This book is about what you say to yourself when no one else is around. My takeaway from this book is that what you say to yourself affects what you think about yourself and how you act. So make sure you are speaking positively and encouraging and uplifting to yourself when you talk to yourself. Number 9, we have Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. This book is a straight up masterpiece. I love this book. I can't even tell you how many times I've read it now. This book, my takeaway from this is that what you think about your success, well, excuse me, what you think about yourself is 100 times more important than what others think about you. Getting that self-talk right, because we all have conversations with ourselves in our brain every single day of our life. Many of us, we speak down to ourselves, and it's important to think highly of yourself, not in an egotistical way, but to be confident in yourself, to believe in yourself, and to have that positive self-image that so many people struggle with. If you struggle with your self-image, you need to read this book. It is a masterpiece. Number 10, we have Rhinoceros Success by Scott Alexander. I love the title of this book. I love that it's short and sweet. It's easy to read. My takeaway from this book is that you have to be determined. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. You have to set your sight on your goal. You have to be 100% committed, and you have to stick with it if you want to be successful. In the 11th spot, we have Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is another masterpiece. This book changed my life. It sold millions and millions of copies because it's so awesome. My takeaway from this book is that the rich think differently than the poor. You need to reprogram your thinking if you want to achieve financial success in life. No one is taught how to be rich or to acquire wealth when they're in school, when they're in college. Most people, we learn money from our parents. In most cases, our parents don't have a lot of money. So if you want to achieve financial success, you need to study and learn from financially successful people. You need to reprogram the way you think about money. Number 12 is The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. This is the book that you want to give your prospects. It pre-sells them on network marketing and what makes it a great business model for the average person. My takeaway from this book is that network marketing is the best business model for the average person to create a leveraged residual income without needing capital or employees. There's lots of ways to earn residual income. Most of them either require money or employees. Network marketing gives you a better way. We're by no means perfect, but it's, in my opinion, the best way for the average person to develop a leveraged residual income. Number 13, we have The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. I love this book as well. This book is told in a parable format, so it's basically like a story. And my takeaway from this book is that anyone can do great things if they follow their dreams. You get one shot at life, make it count. If you have a dream, something that you really want to do, you need to go and do it. Rather than do what everyone else tells you you need to do, or what everyone else thinks you should do with your career and your life, you have something deep down inside of you, probably a burning desire to do something, and you need to go out and do it. You don't want to be on your deathbed with a bunch of regrets. It's better to attempt something great and fail than attempt to do nothing and succeed. If you have a dream, pursue it. You will regret not going after it. Even if you don't achieve your dream, you will regret more not trying than you would failing and coming up short from what you wanted to do. Next, we have The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. This is another masterpiece. For anyone who's married or anyone who has kids, or anyone who wants to improve relationships with their close friends, this is the #1 book that I would recommend. And he basically shares the 5 different ways that people perceive love. Everyone shows love differently, and they receive love differently. How you receive love is probably different than how your spouse or your best friends perceive and receive love. So you need to figure out their love language and make them feel loved in a way that they understand. So my takeaway from this book is that people show and receive love differently from each other. You need to learn how others receive love and show them in their love language. Read the book, study the book. This is another straight up masterpiece. In the 15th spot, we have The Go-Getter by Peter Kern. Chances are you never heard of this book. This is another story. It's about a war veteran, and he's basically a go-getter trying to secure a new career. And my takeaway from this book is that you want to be all in. No excuses. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. In the number 16 spot, we have The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. This is the book of the scrolls. It's a story of a person who was a struggling salesperson who went on to become extremely wealthy. And my takeaway from this book is that your habits create your success. They also create your failures. Everything we do is a result of our habits. Number 17, we have The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz. This is another classic. I believe it was written back in the 1950s. And my takeaway from this book is that don't sell yourself short or you compare yourself to others. Set big goals, take massive action, and always do the best you can. Think big, don't think small. Think huge and make a plan and get to work. Number 18, and the final book on the list that we're going to cover today, is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This is another all-time best-selling book. It's about financial literacy. It's told in a parable format. And my takeaway from this book is that anyone can build wealth if they're smart with the money that they do have. Always spend less than you earn, have a financial game plan, and pay yourself first. So these are 18 of the books on the Amway reading list. I'm sure there's new titles that have been added since I left Amway almost 20 years ago. I would love if you could comment on this video and share any books that I missed that had a positive impact in your life so we can keep this list updated. I appreciate you watching my video today. You can check out the links and the resources in the description box below this video to learn more about these titles. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care and see you on the other side.